Welcome to Sacred Wandering with Keira Brinton. My friend, this is a corner of the world where time stops, where the noise in our minds quiet, where we have soft hearts and we open our palms and we ask. This is a place where we receive. I invite you to join me as we wander through the sacred together. Welcome to Sacred Wandering. Good morning, my love. I'm really excited because today, on this episode, we are celebrating an anniversary. We are celebrating the anniversary of Sacred Wandering, this podcast. A week ago, we hit the year marker. We missed it because it was the day I was publishing my newest book. So last year, 2 weeks before I turned 42, God said, you're going to start a daily podcast and it's going to go live every day. It's going to go live on your birthday, October 22nd. And I remember being like, how could I do a daily podcast? That's the most ridiculous request God's ever asked of me. That was before the TV show. That was before, renting the island 3 times this year. That daily podcast feels pretty easy in comparison to the other things God asked me to do last year. So funny, right? Hindsight is everything. So I remember God saying, all right, you're going to do this podcast. It's going to go every day. It's going to be called Sacred Wandering. And I made a commitment, obviously, to do whatever God asked me to do. And so I threw together this podcast. And by some miracle, we had it live on my birthday. And I remember thinking, this is so ridiculous. How could I ever do a daily podcast? And it's turned out to be the greatest gift that I've ever had. It's the greatest offering that I've ever been able to be a part of. We have almost 20,000 downloads. And that means that in 1 year, almost 20,000 times have we prayed together. However many of you are praying, 20,000. That's a lot of light going into the world. That's a lot of prayers. It's a lot of sitting with God. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. God asked me to do this. I'm so grateful I listened. And this morning, as I sat with God in my own prayers, and I think I was feeling a little bit bad for myself because, just sometimes life isn't what we think, right? Like last night was Halloween and I didn't have children because I'm divorced. They were with their dad. I didn't get to see pictures of them. I didn't get to see them dump their candy out on the floor and put it into piles. Like, this isn't what I thought life was going to look like for me as a mother. And I was feeling a little bit sad for myself this morning. And, just most people have at least had like a solid boyfriend if they've been divorced for 3 years. And I've had a few like 3-week go bouts, but it's really just not been space for me to discover partnership. And, my heart got broken this week and I was just sitting here a little bit feeling sad for myself. And then it was like this overwhelming warm blanket that wrapped me. And God began to show me all that God and I have done in the last 3 years. And all that sadness left. And all the feeling bad for myself left. And all that I could feel was gratitude. My life may not look like I thought it would look when I was 43, but it is remarkable and miraculous. And the work that I am blessed to do is beyond measure for me. It's filled with immense light. And so I went to go pick out the prayer for today. And my normal prayer book, the one that I am currently receiving in, is downstairs in my office because I read a prayer to a client yesterday. And so I had to pick up an old prayer book from 2024, which is like 7 years ago. Not really, it was really a year and a half ago. And this came to me in February of 2024. And I opened up my prayer book, and this is the one I landed on. And I think that I needed to hear this today. And I invite you to hear it for you too. This is the words that God told me. My dear, my sacred one, my beloved Keira, your faith is unmatched, your belief unparalleled. Your trust is like pure ebony, rare and priceless. Meet with me more, and it will all become easier. Your heart is healing, and your soul is getting stronger. Delight in life. I have a marvelous work ahead for you. And that felt like God gave me that message to actually read today on November 1st of 2025. Oftentimes, we see our gaps. Oftentimes, we see what's missing. But it is when we see the whole, and when we see the gains, and we see the miracles, and we see the blessings, that is when we delight in life. And so today, I'm inviting you to put into God whatever gaps you keep focusing on, wherever you feel like in your life there's a gap or a weakness or a hole, right? Maybe your life doesn't look the way that you thought it was going to look. And it's easy to look at the gap. It's easy to look at what you thought it would be and what it is. But I'm inviting you to pick it up and put it into God. And we're going to allow God to transfigure it. We're going to allow God to shift it into the frequency of miracles. Allowing you to see yourself as God sees you. So we're going to pick it up. We're going to put it into God. We're going to ask that God will pour light through us. Allowing us to see ourselves as God sees us. Allowing us to witness the miracles that are abounding. And then we're going to ask that God will touch our cells, that our cells may be coated with the blueprint of miracles, that our cells will be coded to the blueprint of the callings that God has given us. So we're going to breathe in, watching our cells awaken, begin to move towards a new blueprint. Then we're going to ask that God will place his hands on our head to give us a blessing. And I will be quiet while you pray. You're going to take a nice deep breath in, allowing whatever words were given to you to move into your cells, into your body, becoming one with you. We're going to open our palms and ask that God will give us our most important action today. We're going to ask that our angels will help us take this action, that it may be done with ease and with grace and with peace. And as we close today, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for being a part of this year with me. We will continue. We will continue until otherwise noted. I mean, can you imagine if we did this all the way to the end of my life, right? Let's say 105. I used to want to live till 105. I'm rethinking that a little bit now, but imagine if in 1 year, 20,000 times we've prayed. There's 20,000 that have prayed. What will happen when we do this for a very long time? It's a lot of light we're bringing into the world. It's a lot of minutes and hours spent sitting at the foot of God. And for me, that is a life worth lived. And I'm so grateful that you're a part of it with me. So thank you, my love. I thank you for being you. Thank you for wandering into the sacred with me. And I will see you tomorrow morning in our prayer corner. Thank you for wandering into the sacred with me today. If this episode moved or inspired you, I encourage you to share it. Think of someone who needs this message today and text it to them. Let's add more light to the world by welcoming people into our prayer corner together. I also want to invite you to create your own prayer corner at home, a space set apart where you can return again and again to hear God's voice. To support you, I've created the Sacred Space course, which guides you step by step in locating, creating, and dedicating your very own sacred space. You're also welcome into the Sacred Wandering Facebook group, where you can share the blessings that God is giving you and be uplifted by others walking this path. You can find both of these resources in the show notes, or just send me a DM on Instagram at Keira Brinton, and me or my team will send them directly to you. I want to thank you for being one of the rare humans who chooses to sit at the foot of God, to ask, listen, and do. And as always, I want to thank you for wandering into the sacred with me.